What if I told you you've never actually lived on a globe? Not really. Not in the way you've been taught to picture it. Most humans live and die within a few hundred miles of where they were born. You've been handed a map, not a reality. You were taught to imagine a spinning blue marble in a limitless vacuum. But have you ever actually seen the curvature yourself? Or even seen a real photo of it, unedited? Have you ever flown over Antarctica? Now ask yourself, why did Admiral Byrd, in a nationally televised interview in the 1950s, say there were lands beyond the South Pole larger than the United States? And why was that clip buried forever? Because the true map of Earth is nothing like the one hanging in your classroom. 1. The Forgotten World Models. Ancient maps of many lands, each surrounded by ocean. Each home to unique beings, languages, and rules of nature. Before NASA, before Copernicus, before space, there were maps, ancient, detailed, and intentional. The Vedic cosmology speaks of Jambudvipa, concentric land rings, the world tree connecting 9 distinct realms, not planets in space, but lands, each veiled by frequency, not myth, memory, not symbolic, specific. The Norse spoke of Yggdrasil. The Chinese and Hopi spoke about worlds beyond, some across water, others guarded by elemental gatekeepers. They were survivors of a veil drop, and their maps carried what little they remembered. These stories weren't primitive imagination, they were post-reset recall. It's the same map. Truth point, our ancestors weren't stupid. 2. The Gleason's map and the flat model they buried. Let's break a boundary. The flat Earth model isn't a joke or a YouTube rabbit hole. It's a navigation tool that's being used by mariners, aviators, and the military, including the United Nations. The 1890 de Gleason's map shows Earth as a plane with the North Pole at the center, and Antarctica as an unbroken ice ring circling the entire known world. This wasn't fringe. It was published, patented, and used by U.S. military branches, especially the Navy. Now look at the UN flag again. No globe, just land ringed by ice. And ask yourself, why are there no commercial flights over Antarctica? Why is it illegal to freely explore it? The 1959 Antarctic Treaty is the only global agreement that has never been broken, not even during world wars, economic collapse, or space races. Every major country on Earth agrees. No civilians go past the ice, ever. 3. Admiral Byrd, Operation High Jump, and the land he was told to forget. Rear Admiral Richard E. Byrd was one of the most decorated explorers in U.S. history. In 1946, he was sent to Antarctica with 4,700 troops, aircraft carriers, and full military gear, under the guise of scientific exploration. This wasn't a camping trip. It was a war-scale mission called Operation High Jump. He returned shaken, and in a televised interview, he said this: "There's land beyond the South Pole, as big as the United States, never seen by human eyes." That was the last time he spoke freely. Shortly after, Byrd was silenced and NASA was formed. Instead of exploring Earth's edges, the world was suddenly obsessed with space. Look up, not out. For the Nazi expeditions and why Antarctica was so important. What did the Nazis know that others didn't? They launched expeditions to Antarctica in the late 1930s. They called their base Neuschwabenland. They marked territory. They disappeared into the ice. There are documents confirming the U.S. believed they had access to zones deep beyond the ice wall, not on Antarctica, but past it. The Vril Society, allegedly in contact with off-world or interdimensional intelligences, spoke of inner Earth and outer lands beyond the known map. After World War II, Project Paperclip didn't just bring rocket scientists to America. It brought keepers of forbidden cartography and the blueprint for planetary deception. 5. Maps you were never meant to see. Maps from the 1500s to 1800s show things you were never taught. Terra Australis Incognita, a massive southern continent before Antarctica existed on modern maps. Rups Nigra, a magnetic black rock at the center of the Arctic, surrounded by continents. The Zano map, Erodius Phineus, Mercator, all showing land beyond Antarctica with named rivers, mountains, and coastlines. One of the most haunting, a 1958 CIA commission map showing 30 landmasses beyond the ice wall, suppressed, allegedly leaked, redacted ever since. Esoteric anchor. What if the Earth isn't a globe or even a flat plane, but a layered, multidimensional realm, whose full map is encoded in time as much as in space. 6. The Wall, the Gatekeepers, and the Timeline Resets. Atlantis, Lemuria, Mu, Eden. Where are they? What if they didn't sink, but were sealed off? Then suddenly the flood swept over. Every ancient culture speaks of resets, great floods, sky changes, sun shifts, and kings reigning for tens of thousands of years. Look at the Sumerian king list. Rulers reigned for 36,000 years. The mud flood narrative suggests an entire civilization, buildings, technology, memory was buried just a few hundred years ago. These resets may be triggered when humanity gets too close to remembrance. When the veil thins, the system resets. The ice isn't the real wall. Your mind is. 7. So, what's beyond? This is where the map becomes multidimensional. Some say it's Eden, the original garden, sealed to keep corrupted bloodlines out. Others speak of pre-Adamic civilizations, lands of giants, Hyperboreans, or lost root races. There are whispers of soul refinement realms, testing grounds before reincarnation or exit from this matrix. Could it be inner Earth? Could it be outer Earth? Could it be both? One thing is certain, it's not about falling off an edge. It's about ascending into memory. Final drop. They didn't hide the edge to protect you from falling off. They hid it to keep you from remembering who you were before the veil. They redirected your gaze into the stars, while the real secret was just beyond the frozen ring. Receipts you can dig. Admiral Byrd's Lost Diary mentions warm land beyond the South Pole, a lost civilization, and a message from a master. UN flag symbology, same as Gleason's map. 1959 Antarctic Treaty bans free civilian access to Antarctica indefinitely. NASA and CIA redactions both have fully blacked out reports on Antarctic structures and unexplained activity. Ancient cosmology from Hindu to Hopi, the same repeated memory, many lands, many veils, many resets. This episode wasn't about a conspiracy. It was about a veil of forgetting and the cartography of awakening. Because the real map of Earth is not flat, round, or infinite. It's encoded and incomplete until you remember. Fractal codes, where we crack the codes. Until next time, stay sovereign.